Hello everyone! Thank you for joining us today for our webinar, How to Get Free Publicity for Your Waterjet Cutting Service. We're so happy to have you here with us today. Today's presentation is presented by JetEdge Waterjet Systems and ModernMetals magazine and FFJournal magazine. Before we begin, let's take care of a few housekeeping items. To make sure you can hear the audio, you can either use your computer speakers or you can call into the number shown on your screen and provide the access code. Your microphones will be muted to eliminate background noise and distractions during the presentation. If you have any questions during the presentation, you can type them into the field on the lower right hand of your screen. It looks like everyone is on okay, so we're going to go ahead and proceed with the presentation. My name is Nancy Lossing. I'm the marketing manager for JetEdge. I've been with JetEdge for 6 years and have been in the marketing profession for over 15 years. I'm a former journalist and a public relations professional. I have a bachelor's degree in mass communications from St. Cloud State University in Minnesota, which is just west of JetEdge on I-94 up in St. Cloud, Minnesota. With me today is Lauren Dunsing. She's the editor-in-chief of ModernMetals magazine. Lauren has been the editor-in-chief of ModernMetals since April of 2006. She joined the company in January 2004 and has held several editorial roles for both ModernMetals and its sister publication, FFJournal. She received her bachelor's degree in English Language and Literature from the University of Maryland at College Park. During today's presentation, Lauren and I will share a few tips on how to work with the trade media to generate publicity for your business. I will offer some ideas from a marketer's perspective on how to develop media contacts, how to write news releases that get picked up by the media, how to pitch feature stories to the media, how to respond to media inquiries, and how to track your success. And Lauren is going to share the editor's perspective. She'll discuss your options for editorial coverage and how to get started. She'll explain how the media distribute content, and she'll go over the media kit and the editorial calendar so you know exactly when to time your news releases and your feature story ideas so that you make sure that when they're covering Waterjet that you're included in that coverage and it's not just your competitors getting all of that publicity. And then she's going to share some inside advice on what editors look for in a good story, what they need for photos, and what to expect during a media interview. So why does all of this matter? Why bother with all of this stuff? We're all busy. Does it pay off? Well, of course it pays off. Media relations is a very great way to promote your business. First of all, it's free advertising, and who couldn't use some free advertising? Get your name out there as much as possible and get that free publicity. It establishes you as an expert and an industry leader, not only in your industry, but also in your profession. So it establishes your company as that leader, but also you as an expert in your profession as well. And it builds some great customer goodwill. I will always, when our customers install some new equipment, I will send out a news release announcing that installation if they're interested in working on that news release with me. And it gets them some great coverage, lets their potential customers know that they have that equipment now, and it leads to prospective customers for them. The other thing your news releases do is they'll bring in some sales leads for you, and who couldn't use those? Plus it generates some great local community awareness about your business if you're promoting your news releases out to your local community media. One of the most important things your publicity will do is it will help you rank higher on the search engines. So you hear of the term web SEO, search engine optimization. The more news releases you get out there, the more links you have coming in to those keywords for your industry, the higher you're going to rank on Google. It's not the only thing that affects your search engine ranking, but it's very important because it's bringing in more links to your website and it's associating you with those keywords like Waterjet or Waterjet cutting. The list is endless for keyword phrases that you could use. The other thing it does is it leads to some amazing opportunities. We got a call earlier this year from a company that was producing the Modern Marvels show for the History Channel. And they found us on Google. And they found us on Google because we rank very high on Google. chiefly because of a lot of our media relations efforts and our aggressive SEO processes that we've been taking part in the last few years to make sure that we're found for those particular keyword searches. So they gave us a call, and they were looking for somebody that had the technology that would work with them on the story, and we got an awesome story on an internationally shown television show, and I'm sure the reruns will be running for years. And it was a nice feature about us, and it was a nice feature about one of our customers, Michael Waterjet Racing. Another opportunity that we had was during the Gulf oil spill. BP needed a water jet system that could work 5,000 feet underwater. They found out that we had water jet technology. They called us, and they found us on Google because of all of our web SEO and all of our media relations efforts. So how do you develop media contacts? Is there a secret handshake? Is there some club that all the reporters are hanging out at that you need to be at? No, what you need to do is you need to look and find out what are the trade media that are covering your target industries. Waterjet could be tons of different industries. It could be metals, it could be stone, plastics, on and on. It's just countless industries that you could be covering. So find out what industries, what media are covering the industries that you're selling to, that you're selling your services to. You can Google that. You can Google, metalworking magazines, and you'll get some lists of different magazines. Start to develop those lists over time. Put them in Outlook or whatever contact management system that you're using. Develop it over time. What magazines are you reading? What magazines are your customers reading? And most importantly, what magazines, what website, what media are your customers reading? What are they looking at? What websites do they like to go to when they're looking for information about products and services? Ask them. Ask them on the phone. Ask them when you visit them. Ask them in surveys. Leave a blank space open in your survey for a magazine or a website that you may have never heard of, and all of a sudden all your customers are using this. You want to make sure that you're there with your information. The other thing is we all attend trade shows. We're all exhibiting at the shows, and at every show they will have a media center, and through that media center you can get a list of all of the media that are covering that show, and they will be industry media that you want to make sure you get added to your contact list. And most importantly, you want to make sure that your lists are segmented. And this is so easy to do now with programs like Outlook. You can create separate lists for different industries. So you're not sending a magazine, a news release that absolutely doesn't pertain to them. If I'm sending a news release out about something in Asia that only pertains to an Asian media audience, I don't want to send it out to our U.S. contacts, because they wouldn't want it wouldn't be relevant to them, and it would just be wasting their time and filling their email inboxes. And absolutely, whatever you do, don't forget your local media. We all have local media that are always looking for great stories. We all have a patch site through AOL. If you look at patch.com, if you have a local patch site, make sure that you are involved in that and that you're listed there and sending them news releases, story ideas, because they're always looking for that content. They have great web SEO, so it will help your site as well on the Google search engine rankings or other search engines as well. Your local community newspaper, radio stations, your daily metro newspapers, they're out there. They're still there. They're not just in print. They're online. They've got Twitter feeds. They've got Facebook pages. They have all different forms of media outlets that they're using, so don't forget about them. You may have to change your news release out a little bit so that it's not so full of industry jargon. You may have to make it a little bit more local. Don't use a lot of terms that we use every day and it's real common to us, but other people have no idea what we're talking about. You'll want to explain the process a little bit more. Explain what is this ultra high pressure water jet? What is it? They may not even have ever heard of it before, so do keep that in mind. So news releases, how often should I send them out? I aim for once a month at JetEdge. I try to get a news release out at least once a month. And I know you're thinking, that's crazy. I don't have that much news at my company. How could I have something once a month? And if you start to think about it, you probably do have that much news. Think about what is newsworthy. You don't want to send stuff out that isn't newsworthy and waste people's time sending them stuff that is more of an ad than a news release. But if you start to think about what's newsworthy, you will come up with content to send the news release out at least once a month. If you have a new product or service, you got a major order or a project. We just shipped a major order over to South Korea. It was one of the first U.S. orders to go to South Korea since the new free trade agreement went into effect. So there was a news release for us, huge news release for us. If you have a key hiring, a promotion, or award, those are news releases too. You get a new sales manager, get a news release out there about them. If your company gets an award or has a milestone, a 25th anniversary, 50th anniversary, do send a news release out. If you have a trade show or a special event coming up, get a news release out there. For this webinar, we did a news release through ModernMetals and FFJournal. They put it on their e-newsletter. We had it out on our website. Just want to make sure that people are always aware of your events and your trade shows. If you have a new website or you redesigned your website, if you just started up a new Twitter feed or a new Facebook page, you have a new brochure, a new video, get that news release out there. And the media are always looking for items to cover and fill those pages every month, every week, every day. It's a lot of work to fill those pages, so they're always looking for content. Now, your news might not be front page material, but it is newsworthy, and it will help you with your web search engine rankings when you get those news releases out there. So even if you think, well, it's just a new sales manager, it's not going to be this huge front page story, it's still a good story, and it will still help you rank higher on the web search engines. Oh, but I can't write. Oh, how do you get around that? Most of you have been in business for a while, and you're familiar and comfortable with writing business memos, so you certainly do have the writing skills that would be necessary for writing a news release. A news release writing is a lot easier than the writing that we were taught in high school, the research paper writing or college. It's a complete opposite approach. Flip it upside down, and it's an inverted pyramid style is what it's called of writing, where you cut to the chase, get to the most basic information right up at the top, and then write a very short summary of what's going on to kind of fill in the content under there. So it's a very basic, easy formula writing. You should be able to just crank these things out, and it shouldn't take you a long time to write them at all. But if you don't have the time or you don't feel comfortable with your writing skills, you can always hire someone. There's always freelancers out there who are looking for some projects to do. And you can always look to your local college. There's journalism students, public relations students, or marketing students that would love to have an internship opportunity to get some of these experiences under your belt. So you can look to them to help you out with your news releases. So let's talk about the news release, and we'll go into a news release and look at some of the basic components of what you should have included in your news release when you get ready to send it.